Hello, welcome. In this time-lapse video I'll be showing you how I painted this picture, which is of a village in Dartmoor, the UK, a place I recently visited. And if you enjoy the video, it would be greatly appreciated if you could like and subscribe. It really would help me out. So on to the video. Thanks. The first task is to get the whole of the board covered in colour, and here I'm using acrylics to do this job, where you don't need to be that accurate, and it just makes you feel better to have the whole board covered. Plus it's useful when you go with the oil layer out afterwards. Any bits you missed won't have the white board poking through. The colours I'll be using are French ultramarine, cadmium yellow light hue, alizarin crimson, burnt umber and white. It looks like I've got black there, what I'm putting on now, but I mix black with the burnt umber and the French ultramarine. I think pure black is a bit too harsh. I'm detailing the back line of trees here, and basically use three shades of colour. You put the darker background, the mid-tones, and then you put the highlights on to indicate the direction of the sun. These trees at the moment look quite big clumps, but I will paint the sky holes in them after, and it quite transforms it when you do that. I try and make sure each tree has a slightly different shade, as it stops it looking a bit monotonous. Because every especially at this time of year, when this painting was done towards autumn, it's not quite pure autumn colours yet, but the trees are starting to turn, and they tend to do it at a different rate. And if you notice, they quite often turn at the top of the tree before the bottom. The house on the left I'm just doing now, in the reference photo it was a lot brighter, but I thought that would be distracting, so I've toned it down a lot. More trees and bushes here, so when I've got this done, I can start on the two bridges. I'm guessing here the foreground bridge is the really old one. This is only suitable for walking, and the newer, though I assume is still very old, bridge is wide enough for cars to go over. With that back bridge, I put the background grey in, not completely flat. I splodged different colours in there, and then just highlighted the grouting in a near black, and then just pop in the highlights. This foreground tree has lots and lots of different colours in it, with very light edges where I think the stone's kind of like worn. I'm not sure what causes that, but it's quite an interesting effect. In this painting here, the water at the back there has an almost mirror finish, but as soon as it's gone under that bridge and come forward, it's not exactly rapids, but it becomes quite turbulent. You'll see that soon. Now I'm doing a little line of long grass. So this is the usual process. You put a background colour in, and then add the mid-tones and the highlights after. And there I just did the same thing for the water. This is just the background colours of the water, but there will be lots and lots of ripples added after when it's dry. There was a little bit missed there on the video, I'm afraid. The file got corrupted, but it was only about 15 minutes worth lost, and all I was doing was adding the darkest areas in these banks. So these banks are covered in long grass, and the water's quite shallow, so there's rocks dotted about with lots of grass and growth all over them. And I'm just, you can see I've just put the shadows in there. The water ripples, it's quite a simple process really. I'm just picking out the various colours and just painting slightly curvy dashes in the various colours. It's simple, but is a bit laborious. That probably took probably 30 seconds on this video. It took several hours. I'm dotting around a bit here, picking when I've got a colour on the brush. If I see somewhere else in the painting that uses the same colour, I'll go over there and just put it in. The grass I'm doing here in the reference photo was really wild and all over the place, so I have stylised it here a little bit. But it's the same process again. You have this darker background and pick out the lighter colours where the sun's hitting it, and just keep drawing lines. You have to move around a bit like this because you do need some of it to dry before you can do the next bit. So while one side is drying, you can go somewhere else. I am using the Winsor & Newton Griffin Alkids, which is a fast drying oil paint. I believe it's just ordinary oil paints with a liquid already added. You can do this yourself with ordinary oil paints by just adding the liquid yourself. Right, now it's the final touches where I'm just looking to see where bits need to be a bit darkened or lightened here and there. And there we are, it's finished. I hope you enjoyed it.